this is the beginning of the new podcast.
The end.
The end, yes.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to EMESIS. This is the best podcast you've ever heard, and you have not even heard it yet. I am your co-host. I am Jess, a.k.a. the Tacoma Jehovah, and today we got Chris, who introed us.
Yeah,
Hello,
that's me.
Introduce yourself.
Little known fact about me, I'm on the EMESIS podcast.
Nice. And as well with us, we have our main man, Jweff, who, I don't know if Jeff is his real name, but you have to call him Jweff. If
with
not,
a W.
He will kill you. With a W, yes. J-W-E-F-F.
There's like a bunch of flies in my room.
Whoa.
So, Jweff
Nice,
is kind of our wild card. He's our box of chocolates.
Yeah, I'm so random.
Get.
Like, I could say potato.
Exactly.
The thing is like, we freed Jweff from the head injury ward, and then, like, he just started talking about Mario, because he said, like, that they only have one TV in a place like that, and, like, he was only allowed to play one video game. Mario teaches typing. And he may not know the beauties of Odyssey or Galaxy, but he most certainly can type. So
that's true.
Anyway, this is EMESIS, the podcast about nothing for people who are nothing. So, how are you all doing today? Not you, the listeners. I'm talking to the individuals in question. How are you all?
Fantastic. I got second place in a Soul Calibur 6 tournament, and I've been on a fucking roll recently. I fucking crushed those fighting games. Other than that, I work a lot, and then I come home and I do this podcast now, and I watch YouTube videos about shit, I guess.
Who do you main in Soul Cal 6?
I play Zhonghua, if I said her name right. She's just short hair lady, got a sword, really fast and annoying. I make people rage quit sometimes.
It's fucking awesome. I main Talum. Talum is amazing. Like, Talum's playstyle is so, like, I don't know, perfect for me anyway, because it's kind of, feels very repetitive to me. You just kind of forward triangle people to death, and it's amazing. I fucking,
yeah.
God, Soul Calibur is amazing.
Good ass game. Who does Jweff main?
Jweff, have you ever played Soul Calibur? Jweff.
I don't play.
Jweffy baby.
I don't play video games that have blood in them. I'm scared.
Well, that's too bad. I mean, I quite like Soul Calibur. I mean, is there any blood in Soul Calibur? I think in Mortal Kombat.
There's blood everywhere. I had a nosebleed earlier, so there's blood everywhere you go.
What do you think even? Were you, like, picking at your nose or some shit?
No,
like, what happened?
It just started nosebleeding. I was, like, getting my fucking torrent installed from this WoW private server I'm gonna start playing on. And as I'm doing it, my nose starts bleeding, and we're supposed to be starting the podcast, and I tell everyone, I'm like, BRB, and I had to clean up blood.
Oh, so you could just get your information stolen again, like I did with fucking Molten WoW. When I played up to, like, level 25, and that was it. And then I, like, uninstalled the fucking,
that thing
like,
was
12
a scam.
gigabyte download. And then I ended up fucking, like, I just completely forgot about it. I forgot that, like, what even server I played it on. Come to find out that my information was compromised. I do not know, like, if they did anything with it. I mean, I guess they can be Jess if they want to, but, like, yeah, it's fucking.
Yeah, there's a fake
WoW.
Paxel party running around.
Yeah. Oh, there's something you guys need to know about me off the bat. I produce music as Paxel Party. You're learning more about us already.
Go listen to Suncoast Digest, and go listen to 10 hymns.
No, it's okay. I'm gonna plug it in the middle of the podcast during the break. But, so, let's talk about, where do we start? There's been so much fucking bullshit that's been happening.
Go into your,
I wouldn't start with the worst one yet.
Okay.
Yes.
Well,
something tame. What's a comfy topic?
A Teddy Fresh clothing company. So, this is one that I've been, like, I have had this on my mind for a long time, and we got, like, a big coalescence or whatever. I don't even know if that's a word. But we got a nice little taster of how shitty of people Ethan and Ela can be, or at the very least, like, completely unaware that they're, like, boomer age mentality fucking, like,
trying
people
to kill
in
the
their 30s.
Zoomers.
They are, yeah. And the weird thing is that they work. Like,
Teddy Fresh sells the fuck out.
yeah, like, people have this kind of weird assumption that Teddy Fresh only will sell to people that know what H3 is, but that's decidedly not true. Like, sure, you'll have instances like, I went to fucking SoccerCon last year, which is an anime convention in Seattle, the biggest one in the Northwest, and quite a
Get your butts over to
fantastic little-
SoccerCon.
Oh yeah, SakuraCon Geeky Ma. You'll probably know the commercial. If not, you're really
You
young.
should just like edit it in here.
SakuraCon Gikima!
Don't just talk about it. Check out SakuraCon, April 10 through 12. Check sakuracon.org for all the details.
So I went to SoccerCon and I saw this person wearing a Teddy Fresh shirt with a Teddy Fresh vest over it and a Teddy Fresh hat, and I was like, great. And so that's definitely a H3 fan there, but no, just like casually people do wear it. And when people say like, oh, that's only for people that watch H3, it's like, no, that's people only say that if they have never been around like young people before, or like they haven't been around young people in the last like they're like banned from doing so or whatever, because like people like teenagers predominantly, like if you're like 14, like Teddy Fresh is like the shit. Like I mean it just looks like shit, but like people love it. They fucking I know somebody that they manage a Zoomies in like metropolitan California, and apparently like they either sell out of Teddy Fresh merch all the time, or they're like constantly having to restock because people just are constantly fucking like through the, you know, like day in day out, like, hey, can I get that like really shitty thing that looks like a fucking like this for an
people
8-year-old?
think that like it makes them stand out, but if everybody stands out, nobody stands out. So like if you're wearing just like plain like gray colors, you probably stand out more in the crowd because everyone's got all these funky flashy colors on now these days.
Yeah, like, I get that not everybody wants to wear, like, fucking iridescent leggings or whatever, but you gotta have some kind of, like, I don't know, originality. It's just very strange to me. But anyway, so today, the best thing to ever happen to Teddy Fresh happened. They put out a t-shirt that, I guess in an attempt to cater to their, like, edgy, like, teenage, like, oh, let's meme our way through, like, our mental illnesses that are not as bad as other people's, but we're gonna like make it our identity. Like they made a shirt that says I have crippling anxiety,
and it's got like a teddy bear on it.
Said. Yeah,
it's yellow. It's got a bear on it. It's a very like colorful shirt, and it says like I have crippling anxiety.
It was supposed to be like a kind of fucking like subversive, like silly, like haha, like pointing at your depression or whatever, or anxiety, and it's like no, that's just criminally out of touch, and nobody with crippling anxiety, or I would argue anxiety for that matter, would wear that.
Yeah, like I feel like
I'm not trying to fucking gatekeep anxiety and like what you should be doing with it, but like
exactly
how you should be doing with it, but like how you should be like coping with it or whatever.
At least for myself, like I can't speak from experience. I don't have it, but I feel like if I did and I saw people that like maybe don't have it just like out wearing stuff like that, I'd probably be like, oh, fuck off, because like I feel like someone that actually has like a mental disorder doesn't want to like, you know, make it their brand or their identity necessarily. And I know it's like they weren't like trying to be that way, but that's just kind of like how it comes off. Like I feel like it's kind of just poor taste to just like sell merch that says that.
Well, it's not even that. It's like, that's how it comes off, and that's how it was. Yeah. Like, it's not the kind of thing where, like, people misinterpreted it.
No, like it's literally just says, like, I have crippling anxiety, and I feel like, I know they're trying to do, like, the whole, like, iDubbbz, like, I have crippling depression thing, but, like, at least iDubbbz, like, has humor.
Well, not only that, but, like, iDubbbz would not, like, you can't sell iDubbbz merch at a Zoomies.
No.
Like, that's a very strange idea to begin with, to like have one of your pieces of merch be a fucking callback to like a person that people that are like normal, I guess, generally like, but like the average like Twitter user still thinks iDubbbz is like a Nazi, like or like Nazi adjacent or whatever.
He used swear words like, a couple times.
It just reminded me of one time I was at the mall, like, it was a long time ago, actually, probably, like, 9 or 10 years ago, and, like, they had this like a t-shirt kiosk, like, you know, they just have those little t-shirt booths where they'll have shit that say like, I'm with her, I'm with him, straight out of Tacoma, or like straight out of whatever city you're in, like that kind of thing. But one of the fucking shirts that they sold was like a AC/DC like parody shirt that said ADHD, and I'm like,
Jeez.
okay, who's buying that?
Yeah, like
Not
I don't know if I
anyone
really
with
want
ADHD.
like I wouldn't want to wear like merchandise for me that says like bipolar disorder. Like I don't want to wear
Exactly,
that
I
around.
wouldn't want to wear merch that says like alcoholic or whatever. Like you don't want to fucking
Yeah.
like. Well, I mean, to me that's almost like the same thing as like when people wearing shirts that are like get high every day. But even that's kind of like getting high is not obviously that it's not bad. But like
No.
it is kind of like it's kind of cringe to me. I don't know, but. Why not? Like, you're not a fucking sandwich board. Why do you need to, like, make, like, oh, hey, like...
I get the
Oh,
frustration.
can I check out? Yeah, it's like, oh, hey, can I check out, please? Oh, yeah, by the way, I have depression. And, like,
Yeah.
that's some, like, Boogie 2988 shit.
Oh,
It's
we
like,
have to talk
oh, hi.
about that.
We'll do that later, but yeah, it's like, oh my god, we're having such a great time. Oh, by the way, like, I think about killing myself all the time, and I'm probably gonna kill myself after VidCon, like...
Yeah.
Great. Alright, so let's talk about the guy getting banned from GDQ. That's something I want to talk about next. Because, like, I know we'll talk about Boogie later, but Jesus, like, that's really on my mind. So, but for all the people that don't know, I don't know if you do, this just happened, like, last night. There's a speedrunner named Vysuals with the Y, like, VYS, etc. Hollow Knight speedrunner. Generally, like, well-regarded, liked member of the community, just, like, didn't really, from what I can tell, didn't have any sort of, like, issues with, like, you know, getting into drama. He's not, like, a fucking chibi or whatever, but, he just randomly got, an email from GDQ that said he's been banned until February of 2022.
2
for,
fucking years.
2 years, literally, for, 5 tweets that they sent him that say the word cunt in them, which...
Now keep in mind, that means all of Australia and most of like fucking Great Britain are banned. Like, do you know how like casually they say the word cunt? Like, that's not a slur to them or anything. They just say it. So like, what, are you just gonna start banning Australian speedrunners who have probably said it or like have tweeted it? Like,
I mean, they probably should. Fuck Australia, but
Australia's awesome.
I'm just kidding. Shout out to Australia. But anyway, so they banned him for that, and they linked him 5 tweets, which one of them was literally just a quote from a Hannibal Buress stand-up set where he called someone a cunt, not Vysuals.
Yeah.
And then he just said that he loves Hannibal, and then one was directed at Alinity, and he says, like, he probably shouldn't have said that, but, like, he owned up to it. It's not like... You can apologize, yeah, but GDQ doesn't give a shit, I guess. But, like,
No.
he says he shouldn't have done it, and then, there were a couple others, like, that didn't really matter, but... So, in GDQ's official policy that they published regarding off-stream unwanted behavior, what they call it, like, with, I guess, like, they didn't want to say, like, problematic behavior, because that word has, like, you know, connotations or whatever, at least to me, but, like, GDQ has this policy, they say, where they only care about what you've done in the past 18 months, so, like, if you've done anything fucked up in the previous 18 months, or, like, before that, then they don't care, like, unless it's like really bad. If you like shot a dog or something, they're not gonna let you into GDQ.
Oh yeah, it's been
like,
18 months. He's changed.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, honestly, with the thing I'm gonna talk about next, it probably would let them back in, but like, yeah. So they said that like, but 2 of these tweets, like the 5 tweets, were outside of that 18-month grace or like time period or whatever, and they still like
They sourced
apparently
them.
saying the word cunt was so bad that they were like, you can't. Oh my god. And then so Claig, I don't know how you pronounce it, Klaige, Claig, I don't know, but
Buddy.
he's the safety manager of Games Done Quick, and he had a tweet like like outside or like in like also outside of the grace period or whatever, where he said the word cunt, but it was actually like
He was calling
okay,
somebody
so here's the exact tweet. I wrote it down. What's it like being a delusional cunt blaming legit outcry on some phantom ideals?
Yeah, like that's pretty fucking...
P.S. I mean huge cunt.
Yeah.
Like, he's literally, like, gendering his insult. Like, the other guy, like, I guess he did with the one, but, like, it's... He apologized for it. This person's not owned up to it. They don't fucking, like... Because GDQ has their weird, like, preferential treatment. Like... I don't get it. And the weirdest part to me still, though, is that, like... He was, yeah, like, a well-respected runner. There was no, like... He's not, like... There's that guy that got banned last year for, like, they said he was like a right nationalist or some shit. I don't really remember the exact specifics, but they said he was like tweeting some stuff that was like in support of either Trump or to some like fucking nationalist party or something, I don't know, and they were like, we can't have that. So apparently saying the C word is as bad as that kind of like conduct.
Yeah, like
great.
Same thing, guys.
GDQ is just bizarre, and so, but, oh, and then like, I just don't get it.
This isn't the first time
for that, but then 2 people allegedly raped someone in their premises fucking 6 years ago, and GDQ has not made any statements about it.
Like
from what I can tell, the people that were accused have also not really said anything substantial about it. Like,
they just let it happen.
This is a fucking, like, okay, so this is a huge fucking, like, long-ass story, but, so I'll try to, like, make it not too awful long, but basically, this is all alleged, so I wouldn't say, like, take my word as gospel, like, it's stuff I've read about, like, is really fucking fascinating to me, but, so SamAndTolki were, like, this popular streaming couple, like, a long time ago, I guess, like, in the earlier to me, like, days of Twitch, like, before I was really doing it, they would, like, there's a couple, they would just, like, they were married, I think, they would just, like, speedrun, games, I mean, not speedrun, like, play games together and stuff, it was, like, a little, like, playing video games corner.
They had, like, a community on Twitch and all that, like, people knew them.
Their marriage fell apart because, so the original story was that Tolki, well, her real name's Deb, but, she cheated on Sam with, in this story, they said she cheated on Sam with this speedrunner Stivity Bobo, who's a Banjo-Kazooie world record holder, and like I think any percent and 100%, I don't know, like for all the allegations I'm gonna end up saying, like I'll give him that he's a fucking incredible Banjo-Kazooie player, like he's like the best one in the world.
Sometimes shitty people are good at things.
And there was another guy in like that was accused, this guy named Giant Waffle that I had no idea about, but he's like a popular streamer. I don't think he's a speedrunner.
I've heard the name before. I'm not familiar with that guy.
So like allegedly they said like that during SGDQ 2014 they like had like this little fuck orgy where she cheated on Sam with like all these people, and like it was all willing and it was in like a hotel room and stuff, blah blah blah. And then 6 years later, like I think like a couple months ago, like 2 or 3 months ago, Deb like released a statement alleging that like in fact like she was raped by these 2 individuals that like were constantly feeding her alcohol like in amounts that she didn't know like how much she was being given, like that kind of thing. Jeez. And like just way the fuck too drunk to be able to consent to anything. And so oh, and then this is a little footnote, but there's another guy, Scott J. Progan, who's implicated in the story, is having like it was alleged, but he made a statement, but that he like made out with her in this intoxicated state, being passed around in her own words. Mm-hmm. He posted a paste spin response that I read it, and he said that like while they did in fact kiss, like they were both intoxicated, and that like it was before the Stiv and Waffle thing, which like right. I don't know, but like that part to me is like not as relevant. Like take that part, make of it what you will. But so to get up like with the main part, it was Deb's first ever time doing trying alcohol due to her like she was a Mormon, like she had a Mormon upbringing, and like she absolutely like the first time I got drunk on New Year's, she like did not respect the bottle at all and got like or like reselect the bottle, like I guess to say just drinking way the fuck too much,
like not knowing your limits or anything.
Double vision vomiting levels of drunk. Like she says that like she vomited all over the bathroom floor. She was that wasted, and then still these two individuals, I guess, didn't give a shit and still took it upon themselves to like have sex with her in this state. And then according to her, Giant Waffle made particular mention of how hot it was that she was like a white girl that was too drunk to consent, because he says like drunk white girls are hot to him, like that are like I guess too oblivious to consent or whatever. And also said how hot it was that she was still in her teenage years, because she was like 18 or 19 and like just legal enough apparently. Anyway, so what are your thoughts so far? Like this isn't even like half of it. Like what?
That reminds me a lot of all the shit that happened in Super Smash. Remember, like, about June, July, it was kind of going down where we had all these different top players being outed as there's some pedophilia involved, mainly with the Sky Williams situation.
Of course.
There was, like, all the shit going on in his house. And
the loud house, as I like to call it.
Yeah. And then there was also just, like, different players that would get drunk and like have sex with other girls while like they got them like wasted. They were like feeding them alcohol and like, you know, fucking
there would be like a bunch of like 15-year-old like girls in a fucking house with all these like 20-something like Smash players, like all drinking like, you know, hard liquor,
and they're just like feeding
basically
it to
like
them.
having them swim in it.
Yeah, and so there's a lot of like rape, sexual assault, sexual harassment. There was grooming involved in like all sorts of spots in the Smash scene. Like there was even like a situation that happened in the region I'm from, and I'm not really too much involved in the Smash community. I'm part of like the fighting game side, but we still observed that happen. And yeah, so like the whole SamAndTolki thing is like very reminiscent of that, except like it's a bigger mess just because of like the way things happened. Like, oh man,
no,
you have more information about that. I'm not as like informed about SamAndTolki.
Oh no, well like I'm still like the story is still going. So basically, when she was finally able to regain coherence, like she says that she woke up to both Stiv and Waffle like in a bed with her, where they were like kissing, like groping, and like digitally penetrating, you know, like fingering, I guess, her, like without her consent, like. And she said that all she wanted was to be back with Sam, where she like felt safe, because she felt like she was like,
she was just getting exploited.
Exactly, in a place that she didn't fucking want to be. And then, like, apparently, like, after giving her like mixed drink after mixed drink after mixed drink, where she didn't know how much alcohol was in any of them, like they were mixing her drinks for her and not telling her how many like shots were in each one and shit.
That's
like,
scary, especially like for someone that doesn't drink.
Yeah, she says that Waffle said he didn't want to do anything more with her from that point on, so he didn't offend Sam, not like because he didn't want to be a rapist, because he didn't want to be mean to his. He didn't want to be mean to his friend,
who found out anyways. Like,
and then that night, apparently, Stiv like again goes into the bed with her and begins like fingering and groping and doing the same bullshit, and then she just kind of like tries to just, you know, let it happen so that fucking to see if it'll stop or whatever.
Because if she tries to fight back, it's gonna, like, I can understand that situation. Like, I've never been in anything like that, but like if you're trying to resist someone doing that, it's just gonna like get worse. Like, it's hard to like, do something.
This person's already being aggressive about it.
Yeah, like they're already being exploited to the max. Like, what can you do from there?
And so she says like that yeah, so when she wakes up in the morning, she says, like, he's still doing it, like, still in the bed and stuff, and then she says that, like, she figures she might be able to get him to, like, fucking stop doing it if she, like, you know, jerks him off, so she, like, goes to grab for his dick, and then he stands up, immediately strips naked, and then, like, puts his dick in her without, like, raw dogging, without her agreeing to any of it.
Wow.
And then, apparently, this is my favorite part. I mean, there shouldn't be a favorite part of any of this, but Stiv's idea of an apology was to apologize for nutting quickly. He was like, "Oh, sorry, that didn't last very long."
That's
And then,
Oh my
like,
God.
rather than like, oh, sorry, I like fucked you when you didn't want me to.
Yeah, the actual problem. Like, oh yeah, just like focus on the thing that doesn't matter at all. Like, wow. I don't know what to say about that.
And so then Stiv apparently, like, he apologized to Sam, saying that it was the worst thing he could have done to betray a friend or some shit like that. Like, completely ignoring her, you know,
Yeah,
like,
he did not
any
give
of
a
her
shit.
wishes. Like, and, like, throughout all of this, like, the whole, like, Mormon aspect is, to me, like, the disgusting X factor, because, like, she even says in the document that she was conditioned through, like, the church's teachings to believe that it's only rape if, like, you say no, like, extremely adamantly or, like, attempt to fight them off, like, physically. So, like, she was just, like...
So she, like, was conditioned to think that it wasn't.
Yes, like, worn down into, like, doing this.
Jeez.
And then... Yeah, and anyway, so, like, I guess the broader point is that GDQ has said fuck all about this shit. Like, I guess, I don't know, you could argue they don't have any urgent need to, since, like, it took place at a hotel that wasn't on their, like, premises, I guess. But the incident was facilitated by the big party that GDQ is, from, like, all accounts that I've heard.
Yeah.
I know a handful of people that, go, like, have been to GDQ, and they say, like, that it's literally just a big party where everyone just gets, like, drunk all the time and goes to, like, IHOP at 2 in the morning, like...
Yeah.
That kind of shit. Like, it's an absolute,
Meanwhile, let's ban someone that said cunt on Twitter.
Yeah, and what makes it even weirder, though, is that Stiv has ran at GDQ numerous times, and, like...
Since then?
From all accounts, like, since GDQ 2014, yeah.
Wow. Still allowed.
Because, like... Well, no, it's because, like, people didn't know that it was a rape until 6 years later.
Oh.
Or alleged rape, sorry, but, like... Yeah, he... But still, like, if he was a pretty notable runner, like, or he still is, so, like, why would you not say a damn fucking thing about it? Just be like, we're looking into things that a popular runner may have done under our fucking thumb.
Yeah,
like,
they should at least be, like, investigating.
And I just feel bad for all the people that are getting banned for so much lesser things. Like, I think, like, Bonesaw just kind of set the example where, like, oh, let's just ban somebody for being funny.
Was that the Owen Wilson thing?
Yeah.
Where he was just, like, making Owen Wilson jokes, and they were like, yeah, we gotta ban this guy, even though he was just, like, making jokes about Owen Wilson that weren't even offensive.
No, exactly. It's not like he was saying, like, oh, like, Owen Wilson, like, kills Muslims with the gay gun or something. He wasn't, like, fucking doing that, you know? Like, I can understand it, yeah, if he was making jokes about, like...
Something bad.
It's even, like... GDQ will, like, ban you if you accidentally say, like, a no-no word, but then one of my favorite runs, like, that happened last year, or no, it was earlier this year, I don't remember, it was, Tomato Anus doing the Fallout Anthology speed run, and he said the word shit, like, I don't know, at least a few times in that run, and he never, like, faced anything for that.
No.
And that would, like, under other circumstances, that would be, like, you know, you're fucking out of here, son, you know, that kind of thing.
Very inconsistent.
Like, can we take a break now? Oh, I like...
Sure.
Prepare for the boogie talk.
Alright.
The sounds of EMESIS are brought to you by Paxel Party. Their latest tape, Suncoast Digest, is out now independently on Bandcamp, SoundCloud, and a paid-for streaming service near you. Go to paxelparty.bandcamp.com or soundcloud.com/paxelparty or search Paxel Party on the streaming services in your area. Thank you for listening, and stay off the rails.
Alright, welcome back to EMESIS. Now we're fucking... And now, after talking about some horrific, sexual violence-related things, we're going to talk about something much lighter now. One of the worst people on the internet.
Well, I mean, lighter in topic, but heavier in pounds.
Well, oh god, yeah. Well, so... Where to begin with our good pal, Boogie 2,988 pounds. Like, so,
Jweff, what
if
do
you
think
know
about
anything
Boogie?
about...
I think Boogie is awesome. He's trolling people. He's like risking his life just so he can own someone on the internet. That's awesome.
I agree.
So, if if you don't know much about Boogie beyond what you knew about him 4 years ago, Boogie originally got popular for making, like, fat guy splashes in pool videos. Like,
He was
it
on
would
Equals
literally just...
3.
Yeah, exactly. Like, so it would just be, like, him shirtless. His, like, arms are, like, he's, like, T-posing, basically, and then he falls into a pool, and then, like, it makes, like, a giant dramatic splash or whatever. The video got, like... I looked at it again. It was sitting at like 45 million views or something, which like.
And then Ray William Johnson talked about it, and then that was kind of like the start. Or I think he also talked about like that Francis World of Warcraft rant or whatever, and that's like also how he kind of got famous.
And the best part of all of it, which will segue to the next part, is that like the person that suggested that fat guy splash video to Ray William Johnson was this guy Haberdasher A on Reddit, as he's known, who is the founder of r/SamAndTolki, which is the subreddit that Boogie hates the most. It like was originally about SamAndTolki, but then it just like became like a general lolcow subreddit, and Boogie has become their predominant subject, mostly because Boogie like cannot stop like passively calling out the place and does not like know how to conduct himself in its presence, because they just like the people on there are fucking like brutal. Like I'm an active user on there, and like the people on there just they completely see through like I'm getting ahead of myself. So basically Boogie was known as like this really like a big guy with a big heart. Like he was like the Mr. Rogers of the internet, as people would call him, more or less. Like just this guy that
you know, like alignment charts. I remember like people would make like YouTuber alignment charts. They'd always put him on like the lawful good. They would always put him like at the best position you could be.
And the best part is now if you made a Boogie alignment chart, he would be, or like a YouTuber alignment chart, Boogie would be all of them, because he changes like all the time.
Well, he's on the fence.
Except they're all fake.
He's on the fence.
Yeah, so Boogie was just like, he would talk about like his life and how like abused he was and stuff. People would like be like, oh, that's so sad, and blah blah blah. And then right around the time, two things happened that really changed him in like the worst possible way. The first one was that he got so Boogie is a big fat guy. He is giant. He's like at his peak, I think he was like over 500 pounds.
He is fat.
Like, yes, he was like cartoonishly huge. Like,
Fat Albert.
Yeah, he was Pac-Man basically, and so like he vowed that he would eventually lose all the weight. He had a plan to do a channel called I think it was called Boogie Down 440 or like some number like that, because that was like his weight at the time, and he was like.
That.
But Boogie gets down from this, and then he had this like prospect of starting like a big like motivational weight loss channel, which I think he started, but only had like a handful of videos because like because of what happened later. So Boogie has zero self-control, right? And so he will eat like thousands and thousands of calories a day, like when he doesn't fucking need to, because he has to eat like food addiction, which like I mean that sucks, but like when your whole thing is like you're trying to be such a motivational figure for people, and yet like the thing that gets me is that he's trying to be such a like fucking important like motivational figure for other people when he's not following the advice of himself, when that's the dumbest fucking possible thing in the world. It's like, I don't know, that's like if truth was like, oh, like don't ever do drugs, kids, is they're like shooting up heroin in the back after the fucking meeting or whatever, or like after the assembly, like. And so, since he couldn't lose the weight, he opted for weight loss surgery, WLS, and he, like, at first had to, get down to, like, a certain weight, I think, like, 350, like, under 350 or something, I don't know, like, he had to get under a certain amount in order to be able to get the surgery, except he was too lazy and, like, uncontrolling of himself to be able to actually do that, and he just like maintained the weight, and like his only solution was to eventually find like a surgeon that would just do it anyway. Like you're supposed to be like under that weight. Like,
yeah, aren't you supposed to like get yourself prepared to go into those surgeries? Like,
absolutely,
it's not like a
like
thing
you
you can
usually
just do.
Yeah, and then like he got the surgery, and then he gets out, and he's like on a liquid diet, which like he said at one point, like I could talk about the like fake abuse stuff, but there's some. I'll just tell people to go to the mega thread about that part. He said that he would rather be like
Oh my
hit in
god.
the face by his
No.
abusers. Like,
This is more important, right? This is more important than this abuse, right? And like all this stuff, right? He made a video, What They Got Wrong at the Game Awards, and it's called, that is what it's called, and then after that, the cringe was present. And then he got a reply from the actual genuine Game Awards. That's more important.
what did it say?
It said, appreciate the feedback. And then someone replied, LeMayo. That's awesome.
Well, Boogie won trending gamer at the Game Awards, and he like had to be in like a fucking motor scooter to get up on stage to get his award. Either that or somebody had to bring it to him. I don't remember. It was like, I don't know which one is more embarrassing, but like,
Wasn't he like at VidCon in like a scooter?
yeah, he can't walk. Like, he claims that he walks his dog like 10 miles a day, and it's like, dude, I can't walk 10 miles a day, and I'm more like physically like fit, or like I'm like much skinnier than you.
I don't think
like,
his dog walks that long a day. Like, the dog would like be panting and shit like crazy, I imagine.
Well, the thing is like, yeah, he doesn't walk the dog, so like he doesn't let it get exercise basically. Like, and if the dog ever does get exercise, it's because he has his like special roommate like take him out for walks, who I feel really bad for, because like Chad, who is Boogie's roommate, seems like a really nice guy that has to like he like Boogie lets him stay at his house for free as long as he like bees his like
everything.
care, basically.
He has to
literally
do
yes.
everything.
Which I mean, like, I guess like if Boogie was nice, that would like not be that much of a price to pay. But he's not. Like, I can't even imagine what it's like living with Boogie, where he's just like wakes up every day like crying because like SamAndTolki is mean to him.
Like, oh my god, the truth is coming out and I don't like this.
So he got weight loss surgery, and he said that he like when he was on his liquid diet, he said that he would rather be like beaten by his abusers like hundreds more times than have to still be on the liquid diet. And it's like, okay, then you weren't fucking. Nobody talks about like
Nobody
their
would
past.
say that.
Literally, no, like nobody that had that happen to them would talk about their past trauma like that, right? Like,
yeah,
there's no. That's not like, that's not even like a coping mechanism. That's just like, you wouldn't say that. And so from there, he got his like horse teeth that he they look like those like, they look like novelty like chattering teeth. Like,
so one of our friends sent us a picture. It's like a teddy bear with like teeth on it, and they said,
oh yeah, it's like in that.
2988.
Do you know that Vysuals video where it's like, why do we find things scary? The thumbnail is that picture. Like, you can go look it up right now. It's like, that's what Boogie looks like.
Our friend said that was Boogie.
But, like, that one is great, too, because, like, one, the teeth he got them for free from, like, this, like, kind of shady dental company that would do it for free as long as he, like, gave them free promo on his channel, which, like, I mean, one, that's like maybe that made more sense in like 2018, but that is so fucking exposure. What a horrible like return on investment.
They were getting paid in exposure,
but also like the getting your teeth fixed process is like really complicated and long. You need like, under normal circumstances, you get like part of your like plate or whatever. You like part of your teeth like your set removed at a time if they're that fucked, and then like you wait for that part to heal, then you get another part done until like your mouth is fully healed and ready to get like either dental implants or I've seen them before. They literally like, this might be what Boogie actually has, I don't know, they like drill a like denture into your gums and like hook it in there, and it'll like never come out. So you literally just have, like, a new set of teeth. It's fucking mental.
That sounds terrible.
I mean, like, if you get the right ones, you would never be able to tell that you have them. And, like, the really good ones look amazing, but they cost, they literally cost, like, 20 grand per tooth.
We love
like,
healthcare.
It's fucking insane how much it costs. And so he got it for free from this, like, shady company that was willing to do it for, like, YouTube promo or whatever. But the teeth that he got were not fitted for his face at fucking all, and, he can barely talk. He looks like a chipmunk. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's fucked.
It also, like, so you might also know Boogie from he does his Francis character, where he's like, hey guys, it's Francis.
It is Francis, though.
Yeah. But my point is, like, he can't do the voice anymore because he could only do that because he had fucked up teeth. Like, literally, if you, like, I might actually put a clip in here, but, like, if you, like, listen to Boogie try to do the Francis voice now.
Well, I'm Francis. I don't give a crap about politics. Now, Boogie, he's still like, Black Lives Matter, people are... I don't give a shit about it. I don't vote, okay? The only thing I vote for is whether we're having Pizza Hut or Papa John's for dinner.
He cannot fucking do it. Like, it's hilarious. Like, it sounds like someone else doing, like, an impression, like a bad impression of Francis, and then Boogie's doing an impression of that. Like, I feel like
Jweff can do a better Francis than Boogie.
But anyway, so the culmination of those two things ended up culminating with the worst possible one, which, like, for him anyway, which with his fucking ego, is that his wife divorced him right after this stuff happened because, I mean, you can probably fucking guess why. She didn't want to fucking have anything to do with it anymore. Like,
but would
you want to?
He's the victim in
Would you want to stay with a fucking man-child that, like, is constant? You have to wipe his ass? Like, literally, Des would have to do that all the time.
Yeah, but he's the victim, right?
Apparently, yeah. Well, no, that's the thing, is Boogie has, like, a huge victim complex, but, I mean, that's only one of the things. Like, Des, from all accounts, like, in the final, like, from what I can tell, it seems like their marriage was, like, in shambles for, like, years leading up to that, because, like, it just didn't work out, I guess. Like, because he's a fucking manipulative asshole. Like, I can't imagine living with him where it's like, oh, I guess Boogie's having another meltdown because of Reddit again.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I guess he's gonna, like, verbally berate me because I didn't, like, prepare, like, Marco's pizza for him or whatever.
It's like so Jweff has this Reddit account, and he just, like, shit posts on it, and he pisses off the moderators because...
And they ban him a lot of the time. Like, I think they banned him from the Sonic subreddit.
Yeah, because I posted my toy review, and they said no low-effort content. And then, like, people will just throw up, like, a big Chungus meme, and they'll be like...
Yeah, it's like, imagine, like, the moderators, like, actually, like, getting mad in real life and, like, slamming their desk because, like, Jweff posted some, like, shit post, and they're like, no, this is not what I fucking want to see, and they just, like...
I don't want to see this kind of behavior in the Sonic subreddit.
Yeah, that's kind of like what Boogie does with Reddit. Like, he'll see posts about him, and he's like, no, I do not want to fucking look at this shit, and he just, like, has a meltdown.
Not only that, but what'll happen is he'll, like, read posts about him, and then, like, passive-aggressively respond to them on Twitter. Like, he won't call them out directly, but, like, so let's say, for example, on SamAndTolki, someone says, hey, Boogie, you should try some aspirin. Like, Boogie will go on Twitter, like, 2 hours later and be like, so I heard people were, like, asking about this, and no, I actually don't, like, need any aspirin. Like, I'm pretty, like, normal as it is. It could have just been that one person saying it. Mm-hmm. And he, like, he's fucking obsessed. And it's funny because he says that, like, people on SamAndTolki live rent-free in... He lives rent-free in their heads. And it's like, dude, you literally, like... According to one of the, like... He hires, like, sugar babies to,
Oh, God, I love this story.
He hires, sugar babies to hang out with him, and one of them said that, Boogie, like, his routine is he would wake up, go on SamAndTolki, read some of the posts about him, and then cry.
Oh, my God.
And then, presumably, like, give her a 20 to, like, jerk him off or something. I don't know.
You couldn't pay me $1,000. You couldn't pay me, like, anything for that.
Oh yeah, Boogie, with his wife, he said that they would do HAMS, which stands for hand and mouth stuff, because he couldn't, like, he was too fat to fuck. Like, too much of a fat fuck to fuck, you know what I mean? So he, like, literally, like, could barely roll over, let alone, like, have somebody, like, ride him, you know what I mean? Like, I can't even imagine what would happen, like, if, like, you tried to have missionary with Boogie, like, you wouldn't even, like, you wouldn't be found for a year.
Let's just say, you couldn't have a Boogie body pillow, you'd need a Boogie body bed.
You need, like, a Boogie apartment.
Oh my god, it's such an easy jab.
Oh, it is, like, but that's the best part, is he's such a fucking shitty fuck that, like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, like, it's not like
say
we're just,
anything
like,
about
bullying
him.
someone. Like, we're just, like, shit-talking a guy that we used to respect because he's, like, one of the worst people.
I used to fucking love Boogie. That's the thing. Like, I thought he was, like, an extremely motivational, inspirational person that, like, oh, this was dealt a bad hand in life. And no, it's like, you're a fucking... You're out of, like, one of those bad, like, Lifetime movies. Like, he's out of, like, a fucking soap opera. It's fucking insane. But anyway, so Boogie... God, there's so much to go into with this. But Boogie has, like, sugar babies that he hires to, like, I guess, do things with him. And there were two. One is, like, two that we know of anyway. One is... Maybe there's a third one. I don't remember if Grieve Ghoul did the Wendy's thing I'm going to talk about, but so Lucy Fox was like somebody that Boogie met on Seeking Arrangement. If you guys don't know what that is, it's basically like one-sided Tinder for like hot young people, basically, to meet like gross, washed up, like older rich people, to like pay the money to like hang out with them and like, I don't know, fuck, just be their general companion or whatever. It is really, I don't know, whatever you would imagine them to do. Anyway, so Boogie had an account on there. His profile picture is him with Ethan and Ela, which I think is really funny. Like, he's like,
unholy
trio. He's basically like, I'm a famous person that just wants a nice piece of ass or whatever. Like, that was almost literally like his description. He was like, I'm a lonely guy with a big car. I don't know. I don't remember, but so we met this girl, or woman, whatever. She was like 19 or something, Lucy Fox, and she's like, you know, just a relatively normal, like post cam girl kind of, like, very normal, like, you know, just like
sugar does baby. Like adult content really online, like
exactly
nothing
like,
out of the ordinary, just like a regular person like that makes a living doing like adult content.
Yeah, and so like Boogie hired this individual, and then he like would not let her leave his house. He would not let her use her phone, and then like he made her like suck his dick and then record a video of it to post on Reddit.
Jesus Christ.
Like, I don't know if you knew about that part.
Nobody wants to watch that.
I sure as fuck don't. And like, from all accounts, apparently like Boogie's dick looked like an acorn. Like, apparently it was like, it was more like the kind, like, it wasn't the kind of thing you suck on like like a fucking like popsicle. It was more like sucking on like a dum-dum, you know, like.
Oh no.
That kind of thing.
It's like having a fucking jawbreaker in your mouth.
Yeah, exactly. So, but like half of a jawbreaker attached to like a bunch of fat rolls. So, yeah, and you can only imagine how that smells.
No.
Like,
yeah, it's not clean.
I can't imagine, like, Boogie would take up like 3 bathtubs. How would he get in the shower? But I feel like I'm talking about his weight too much. He's just a shitty person in general. But so, anyway, he like this person. I almost said Julia Fox. This Lucy Fox person eventually got away from him, and you know, just
he
kind
basically
of, like,
kidnapped her.
Yeah, exactly. He did some like Safdie Brothers bullshit, and then like it was hilarious. And then no, not hilarious, but it's like hilarious to like think that someone's that cartoonishly evil that they would like do that and still have people that like. One of Boogie's fans called me a disgusting freak on Twitter one time because I like dared to criticize him, like saying that he's not good at anything, and I was like, I don't know, you're pretty good at being like an emotionally manipulative asshole, like among other things. And he he didn't reply to me or anything. I got like 20 likes though, and someone replied to me like, they were like, "You're pretty good at being a disgusting freak," and I just replied, "Hell yeah," 'cause it's like, yeah.
I'd rather.
What's your gotcha here?
Yeah, like I'd rather be a disgusting freak in your eyes than whatever Boogie is.
Exactly, and so, anyway, so Lucy Fox eventually got away from the fucking situation, and then made a video like talking about like her experience with Boogie and how like shitty of a fucking person he was, and then like Boogie immediately started spinning the story to say that like, oh, she's just like a, you know, just the typical like, oh, bad ex-girlfriend like trying to get me down or whatever, when it's like, okay, one, she's not your girlfriend, and two, like the stories in there like are pretty cut and dry with the kind of behavior you exhibit online. Yeah. Like, it's not outlandish to think that you would be the kind of person that doesn't let somebody look at their phone. Like, Boogie does that when he has, like, just casual, like, parties. He doesn't let anybody look at their phones, and I don't know why.
That's just, like, cult-type shit.
Yeah, well, it's not only cult-type shit, it's, like, I would almost say it might be, like, Illuminati-fearing type shit. Like, what is he worried about? Is he worried that, like, being in his presence will make them automatically go to the SamAndTolki megathread and, like, find out that, like, he has done all this fucking shit?
I mean, okay, it's one thing when you have, like, Kanye West, where he's like, okay, we're making my beautiful dark twisted fantasy, I don't want anybody to, like, be, like, taking pictures or recording what's going on here, we're, like, doing this shit in the middle of nowhere. But it's another thing to, like, go to Boogie's house and he's like, yeah, like, get your phone out of my fucking face.
And, like, there was one time where he had a bunch of his, like, friends over, and he made them, like, record this really cringy Francis skit, and, like, none of his friends can act. It was so fucking embarrassing to watch. I just felt so, like, I mean, as bad as I can feel for people
like,
that are friends with Boogie.
Okay.
Merry Christmas, sons of bitches! Huh?
Oh.
Who wants Christmas presents? I got gifts for everybody. Who's a Pokemon fan? Yeah!
Whoa!
I pick you, baby! Woo! Who wants the Boba Fett? Boing!
Alright, so then, so he's just been doing all this fucking bullshit, and then the Grave Ghoul, who's the other, fucking, like, cam girl, escort, whatever, like, relatively, like, I don't know, like, relatively attractive, like, goth girl, I guess.
Doesn't
she's,
she
like,
do,
18,
like,
19.
those, like, paranormal... She does, like, paranormal videos and stuff. She talks about, like, all that
Oh,
shit.
I don't know. I didn't know that. I literally only know her for, like, what Boogie fucking put her through.
Yeah,
Maybe I should know more about her.
I know her YouTube channel.
We should get her on the podcast. But,
That'd be great. I'd fuck with
God,
that.
But,
that'd be fun.
But, so he had, like, was hiring her to, I guess, like, be his next, like, Leia to his Jabba for a while. Every, like, metaphor intended there. And so, from there, he fucking... So Boogie makes all these desperate attempts to go viral, and one of the most, like, the one that just physically, like, I almost threw up seeing it, was he, like, bought, like, 20 or 30, like, Wendy's, like, Baconators, and, like, laid them all out on the ground, and then with this Grave Ghoul individual, like, they were, like, stepping on them for YouTube videos, and in these, like, stepping things, you can see Boogie's, like, purple bloated legs, like... There's nothing, like, enjoyable about watching it at fucking all. And, like, all the comments are like, Boogie, why are you doing this? You said you were gonna be clean eating. Like,
wait,
this is, like...
I mixed it up. So, this person isn't the same. I was thinking of a different... Like, I was thinking of a YouTuber that makes videos.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Person, but,
well, Grave Ghoul, we like you anyway.
Yeah, you're still cool. Sorry you had to put up with Boogie.
Oh my god, I know. Like, I just cannot imagine that. And then there was another time... I also want to say, I don't actually remember she specifically is the Wendy's person, but it looked like the same person. I don't know. But, so, the more cringe thing, though, is he was on a stream with this Grave Ghoul individual, and, they were just kind of casually, like, hanging out, talking shit on the Reddits or whatever the fuck they do. I don't know. I didn't watch the stream. I couldn't even make it through the clip that I'm about to talk about. There was a part where, Boogie was like, he was like trying to like put his hand on like her thigh and stuff, and she was like really fucking like don't do that, and he kept trying to do that, and he just at one point he literally said, "I'm allowed to touch you,"
Okay, that... Oh, Jesus Christ. Imagine thinking you're entitled to someone like that.
Exactly, and then... throughout all this, you just have to imagine this while, like, Boogie is, like, giving you a mean face with, like, one half of it, like, pointing up, you know? Or, like, one half raised, while the other one's, like... Well, oh, that's another thing. Boogie had a stroke.
At least it's very apparent that he, like, most likely did.
Or Bell's palsy. People aren't really sure, but, like, I might put up, if I remember, I'll put up some pictures of Boogie's stroke face. He literally, like, there are some pictures where it's literally a 50-50 split of, like, his left face, or, like, I think it's, his left face does not move, and his right one does. Or maybe the other way around. I don't know. Whatever. But, like, oh, no, it's his right one. And, like, it's fucking weird. And he's, like... We're pretty sure it's a stroke, but Boogie's, like, given a couple different stories about what happened. Like, one time he said it was because he got, like, nearly mauled by a dog, and then another time he said it was because, his mom was attempting to claw his eyeballs out when he was, like, in a speeding car and she pushed him out. Or he jumped out, like, it's like, yeah, of course, like, yeah, your life is a fucking Jason Statham movie, Boogie, like...
Yeah, for sure.
But that didn't fucking happen. But, no, it's just a bunch of fucking... Oh, and so I guess to talk about the more recent stuff, Boogie's now on TikTok.
Not now. He's been on it for a little while now.
But I mean, like, let's talk about, like, stuff that happened, like, in, like, 2018, 19. Like, in 2020, he really started doubling down on TikTok. And, like, I don't even know why, because for one, it's a platform for teenagers. It's a platform for children, and two, he is so fucking bad about, like, at it. Like, if anybody's listening, like, pause this right now, go to, like, Google TikTok Boogie2988, or, like, real Boogie2988, and, like, watch any of his, like, videos that he's put out in the last, in general, on that fucking platform. It is the most, a lot of them aren't even, like, you'd think they would just all be like him doing, like, cringy dance duets with 12-year-olds, but I mean, a lot of them are, but for the most part, it's just him, like, calling out his haters via, like, he'll do these fake Q&As where he, like, makes sock puppet accounts to, like, it'll be, like, an account that's called, like, Bobby James 64 or whatever, and then it'll be a question like, Boogie, how can I be humble like you? That's literally a question somebody sent in, and it's like, no, you made a fucking sock puppet account, because if you go to the accounts, they're like...
They have, like, no activity.
They joined, like, the day before, they, like, have no
they
content, they don't have a profile picture,
they made an
like, you
account
can't even be
just
fucked to do that.
Like, they, like, yeah, I'm just gonna make a TikTok just to say this to Boogie. Like, no one's ever done that in their life.
I would do that. That would be awesome.
Well, God, I would love Jweff to get in contact with Boogie.
I would say, oh my god, that's so epic.
And
well, Boogie, like, is a fake Mario fan. You would have a lot
oh my god.
Jweff.
We should have a debate between them.
Oh my god, yeah.
How is he a fake Mario fan?
Jweff is just like... Well, he's a fake fan of video games in general. That part would be kind of hard to get into, but he, like, claims to be a fan of video games, but almost every game he's played in the last, like, few years, he hasn't played more than, like, 3 or 4 hours.
Oh my god.
Even if it's a game like Death Stranding, where, like, that's
the
just to get to the game.
Hours.
Like, that's just, like, it's like the first 3 or 4 hours to get to the game. Mm-hmm. Like, he didn't even get that far, and he made it to, like, it's so funny, like, people on SamAndTolki just about, like, I was going to say they stalk him, they don't, and, like, I don't want to give Boogie credit and see what they do, but they are, like, they do keep tabs on him, and, they check his, PlayStation account sometimes, and they saw it, and, he was, like, praising Final Fantasy VII, or either that or, like, shitting on it or something, but they looked at his notifications, and, his achievements, and he didn't get past, like, he got the achievement for the first boss, and that was as far as he got in the game.
And he'll, like, do reviews and shit.
Exactly. Well, honestly, his reviews are just like, well, you might like the game, but you also might not like it, but that's kind of okay, like, because it's all just kind of about, like, the game, like, but, like, you know, you might disagree, but you might also agree, and both are okay. Like, it's literally just the same, like fucking a snake, like, running around in circles. Or
Why
something.
wouldn't
Or,
he
like,
just?
you know,
Why wouldn't he say just I personally think this stuff instead of saying you can dislike this game, you can dislike it. Why would you not just say I personally like this game? That's all I'm gonna say.
Well, because he has to be on the fence about everything.
But he would be on the fence if he said I personally liked it.
I know. Like, he could just say, like, yeah, I liked this thing, but he's always like, well, like, people might dislike this, but, there's
like,
people that will
I
like
could
this.
see why you would dislike this, that kind of thing. Like,
yeah, like,
it's ridiculous.
just say, like, I can understand why people would dislike this, but still, like, stick to, like, an opinion. Don't just be like, well, people are gonna like it, and people aren't gonna like it, and then there's gonna be people that think it's okay. Like, that doesn't tell me anything about
his fucking Last of Us 2 review. I didn't watch it, but it was, like, I read, like, a synopsis of it, and it was hilarious. It was, like, he only got, like, 3 or 4 hours into the game.
He beat the prologue, probably.
He got up to the bigot sandwiches scene or whatever and immediately quit the game. Because he's like, this game's targeting me. or what is that? What is that line? Fascist sandwich?
No, it's bigot sandwiches, you're right.
Yeah, he did, like, put out, like, a Last of Us 2 review where, like, just about the entire video is him, like, reading, like, going down Metacritic and reading other people's reviews of Last of Us 2 and, like, not giving his own opinion on the game.
Because he didn't play the fucking game.
That's like if I was like, oh, I'm gonna give my opinion on Metro 2033 when I've never played that game.
Yeah, well,
like, it looks cool. I can review it on that merit, but, like, I'm not gonna just be like, oh my god, like, this game is so mechanically sound, but I can understand why you would. Like,
I'm gonna review it off the merits that I just bought it on the Steam sale, and I, like, installed it, tested it out for, like, a few minutes to see if the game would run, and then didn't play it again because it's in my backlog, but I'm gonna write a review about it.
I don't get why, like, you couldn't just say, oh, this is an acquired taste or something. Like, oh, you're not gonna get this right away. Like, literally, that's how you can describe some games. You literally need to, like, play it, like, a few times before you get a hang of it.
Yeah, exactly, but
I don't get how, like, saying over and over again that, oh, I like this game, but it's not like that. I don't get why you wouldn't just say that once and then, like, fuck off.
Exactly,
yeah.
Like, I'll be like, I like Katamari Damacy, and if someone tells me I don't like that game, I'll be like, alright.
Yeah, like,
I do.
Be like, yeah, I still like it.
I'll have a debate on why I like it if they're like want.
No, you gotta make a video essay about why things are bad and why people can't like them.
You should make a video essay about how Bowser is cringe.
Yeah. Why he's a bad villain. He's not a good villain.
He's not a good villain like Doge.
I want another Doug Walker Let's Play.
Oh no.
The true thing in life. I would love a Doug Walker Let's Play.
Let's play Last of Us 2.
Well, he'd love it because it's like a movie.
He doesn't even know how to hold a controller. He's like...
Yeah, well, the game's basically a movie, right? So he would love it.
I'm just imagining Doug Walker with, like, a PlayStation VR on his head. And it's like, wow, it's like I'm in the movie.
He would say that, too.
Do you think he would scream at the top of his lungs if someone hit him in the VR chat?
Like, he thinks that he's getting hurt. Like,
that would be good.
Is that real to him?
Ready Player One, but with the Nostalgia Critic would be a lot better.
Honestly, I still want to watch those fucking Kick-Assia movies.
Oh, to boldly flee and Kick-Assia.
Suburban Nights.
What is, like, I thought it was Suburban, like, Knights, like, N-I-G-H-T.
No, they're knights. They're, like, knights, you know, like, shining armor or whatever.
I honestly can't imagine, like, how did the people involved in that, how are they willing to even sit through filming, let alone, like, wanting to be
I would do that. Like... I would go...
Oh, no, I would too, but the difference is I'm not on Channel Awesome.
Unfortunately.
Oh, dude, oh my god, if Doug Walker asked me to be on Channel Awesome, dude, like, if they asked EMESIS to be on Channel Awesome, like, we're the only, like, it's us and Doug and Guru Larry.
I love the running joke that Guru Larry's just, like, on there because he thinks it's funny and he, like, wants to be the last member.
Well, yeah, he's the last one. It's like the Highlander. He's like...
He just thinks it's funny.
I love the Nostalgia Critic.
Well, it is, because, like, nobody even affiliated Guru Larry with Channel Awesome anyway. Like, it was something that, like...
he's never been in
you
Kick-Assia,
just
so
do
he's
it.
already, like, one step ahead of
You
everyone
think
else in
you
Channel
think
Awesome.
there'll ever be another Channel Awesome movie?
Like the reunion or something.
Oh my god, they do, like, one of those, like, TV Guide, like, Where Are They Now specials on the Channel Awesome crew. They have, like Noah shows up, or Spoonie shows up, like, pissed drunk, and then, like, Brad's like, hey, Spoonie, where have you been all this time? And he's just like, shove it up your ass. Like, he's completely stumbling. And then, like, I don't know, like, Linkara shows up in his, like, Fedora helicopter. And then he goes in and he's like, where's the beer?
The thing that bothered me, like, when I see clips of Kick-Assia is, like, so Todd in the Shadows is, like, I like Todd in the Shadows, but, like, he's supposed to be in the shadows, and it just feels so out of place.
They just have him with a mask.
It feels so out of place. Like, that doesn't fit the character, because, like, there are times
It's
where,
literally
like,
just him in, like, a black hoodie and, like, a black, like, mask over the top of his face.
Awesome.
Yeah, like, sometimes he shows that, but, like, for the most part, like, I feel like he doesn't really do the skits in his videos anymore as much. Like, he just stays to, like, being on the piano and that.
Good.
Because that's, like, kind of what he's supposed to be, but, like...
I hate... Dude, the worst part of Channel Awesome by fucking far...
The forced
skits.
collabs?
Like... Okay, the first... Like, the skits and the forced collabs, yeah.
No,
like,
the skits are awesome. You
and,
guys
like...
are just haters.
Okay, they're funny if it's, like, Doug Walker, who's, like, incompetently bad at them.
He's not
like,
bad.
It's, like, Todd, who,
He's
like...
not bad.
We're just
If it's,
hating.
like, Todd who knows better...
No, but listen,
I mean,
like,
I'm
here's the
glad.
thing, right? Here's the thing. Like, when you watch the Grinch review, the 2018 version made by Illumination, when you watch that review, the skit, it starts out with, like, a Sailor Moon funny. It starts out with a funny skit about how, he's transforming and he has a skirt on, and then there's, like, a minute of where his friends, the woman and the black man, are talking to him, and when that happens, Doug says, leave, and then he goes on for, like, a minute.
Yeah, I love drawn-out skits. And, like,
No! You're getting more Doug Walker that way.
Yeah, because, like, I remember, like, when I was, like, 13, 14, I was really into, like, Normal Boots and Cinemassacre, and I liked Todd in the Shadows, and I was like, I'm gonna try to watch more Nostalgia Critic, because, like, everyone liked him at the time, and I didn't really get it, and I, like, tried watching a bunch of Nostalgia Critic videos, and I never finished one, because, like, they were so drawn out. Like, I remember I tried to watch, I think it was the one for, was it Batman vs Superman, or was it Man of Steel or something? And, like, the beginning is, like, a musical where it's, like, Angry Joe is Superman, I think. And Batman is, like, Doug Walker, and they're, like, doing, like, a sing-off or something. Like, I have to show it to you.
Oh, that's
I think
awesome,
I'm remembering it correctly. It's, like, really fucking bad, though, and, like, I couldn't believe it. And I was, like... I was 13 or 14 at the time, and I thought it was terrible.
Your taste sucks at that time, you know? Like, everyone's taste was terrible at that age.
Yeah, like, I loved so many, like, dumb things at the time, but even that was, like, pretty bad.
People watch fucking Ben 10, but, like, they won't like, Doug, that's just too... Doug, what are you doing? Like, you're not the worst, like, writer in the world.
Well, that's debatable.
No, I think he's better than, like, Bennett the Sage.
Yeah. He's better
like,
than
the
mysterious Mr. Enter.
Of course. He's, like...
You guys are just, like, a bunch of haters. You know that?
I love listening to Mr. Enter.
I do, too! I like when he wishes death threats because someone wrote a bad episode of SpongeBob.
Yeah.
That was my favorite part of him, and then he just calmed out and mellowed out. Now I don't like him anymore.
Why? Because he's not trying to get people fired from their jobs because
Yes,
they've done elimination.
That's something that I recommend he brings back.
Like, we should actually shoot up the Teen Titans Go headquarters because of this fucking episode.
This episode blows my ass.
And then, like, one of his fans
I want like,
does it.
That'd be a good character, like Ted Kaczynski, Mr. Enter, like the 2010's animation and its consequences have been a disaster for the human race, and then like he starts writing all these letters to like Tara Strong or whatever, being like, "How could you be in this fucking show?" And then, well, it'd be like the Randy Stare of Ted Kaczynski.
Yeah, Mr. Enter's own Randy Stare.
Although we should probably do that to Butch Hartman though. I don't know, like.
I mean, for $200.
Yeah, for $200, I'll commission a bomb that I'm going to mail to Butch Hartman's house.
No, actually, I would pay $200 to get a commission of Butch Hartman drawing the mysterious Mr. Enter.
Drawing the nostalgia critic.
Okay, that would be worth.
You think
money.
he would
like,
do
if
that?
He drew like funny things.
I probably like. It's not like we're asking it like to draw him naked. Like
he wouldn't get the joke. It's like an in joke. So like. Or it'd be funny if we got him to draw, like, Wings of Redemption or something.
Say, this is my friend.
Oh, Jesus. Like, oh, this is my friend. Like,
my friend
he's diagnosed autistic. Like, he's not very good at, like, human communication. He wanted to ask you for a commission, but, like, do you think you could maybe just, like, grant him this, like do like a little discount on this, like a commission of him? Like,
I don't know. That's a little messed up to even mess with Butch Hartman that way.
Wings of Redemption.
Well, I don't care. I don't want to do that. I don't want
to. Yeah, Butch Hartman would probably just be like, "Sorry, kid, it's money or the highway."
Yeah.
Like, oh, Butch, I love it. Like, I drew one of his like shitty commissions that somebody sent me, and I'm a terrible fucking artist, and mine, like, did not look... Like, it was, like, rugged, but it didn't look that much different than, like, the one that he drew.
Yeah,
like, it was, like, basically, like, Invader Zim style, like... His literally looked, like, worse than a DeviantArt commission.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Or, like, even, like, I have a profile picture I got commissioned for $30, and it looks infinitely better than any of the Butch Hartman
Yeah, it's just like... Yeah, it's just like his World of Warcraft avatar, and it looks really fucking sick. Like,
I paid $30 for it, and I'm like, hell yeah.
Honestly, at that point, you're literally... It's like the supreme of, like, terrible cartoon... Or, like, people that are bad people. It's like you're just paying for the novelty of, like, Butch Hartman drawing something for you.
Yeah.
And it's Butch Hartman. Like, okay, if Hillenberg... I'd pay $200 for a Hillenberg commission, but, like,
cool.
if he was still alive.
Yeah.
But, like... That's... SpongeBob means a lot more to me. Like, I like the Fairly Odd Parents, and, like, Danny Phantom's alright, but, like, what else did you do? Fucking Tough Puppy?
Tough Puppy.
Like,
that had Spencer from iCarly in it.
I was about to say, poor Jerry Trainer. I mean, he probably got paid a nice, like, fat check to be in that, but...
Did you guys watch Bunsen
really
is a Beast?
What is it?
Bunsen is a Beast. His latest cartoon. That's not a...
I swear I've heard the name. I just don't think I've ever seen a thing about it.
I've heard the name too. What the fuck? Like, what? Have you seen it, Jweff?
Bunsen is a Beast. Yeah, it's awesome.
What's it about? Is it about? He's the Beast? What does he do?
It's Bunsen is a Beast, and then he's a beast, and he has a friend, and he has another person that's the bad guy, and the bad guy is the stereotypical. A nerdy girl, except she doesn't have any glasses, and she has braces instead. And then
so it's like the Loud House.
No, because Loud House is like respectable at some point.
Yeah, like I was told that like the Loud House actually has like quality animation or whatever.
I don't know. I feel like I wouldn't mind my kid. Like if I had a kid, I could put them in front of the Loud House and like not worry.
I mean, like if I had a kid, I'm making them watch like Live Leak compilations just to like let them know what the fuck they're in for, like later down the line, like whether it's me or someone else. But,
I mean, as a kid, I was watching Malcolm in the Middle, and I feel like a lot of the jokes in that go over my head. Like when I'm 5.
My favorite episode of Malcolm in the Middle is the one where they go to Burning Man. Like, it's so fucking funny. And that's, like, in the last season. Like, usually with, like, a comedy series, like, it kind of dulls out towards, like, the last couple, like, seasons or whatever. But that show, like, stayed, like, really good. Yeah. I remember, like, Doug Walker was talking about, like, how, like, Malcolm in the Middle is one of his favorite shows. And he was, like, because I watched this video where he's, like, and now my top 10 favorite TV shows, like, or whatever. And, like, and it wasn't, like, Doug in character, but that's what he sounds like anyway. And, he was, like, he had all these different shows. Like, he had Louie on there, but he had Malcolm in the Middle on there. And, he's like, it was way better than that 70s show. That fucking 70s show. Like, I'm sorry. If you like it, that's fine. That's great. Have your opinion. But man, Malcolm in the Middle just had so much better writing, much better characters. It was a lot smarter.
Are they even comparable? Because I don't know anything about
like,
that 70s show, but I feel like it's not even close to the same vein.
That 70s show is like a one-camera, like, laugh track show.
So it's, like, more comparable to Friends or something like that.
I'd say it's more comparable to, like, Full House than it is that, like... Doug Walker's fucking bizarre. His favorite show of all time is Daria. I don't know if that's, still the case. I know, like, he said that, like, Avatar: The Last Airbender, while he was watching it, is, like, up there for his favorite show now. But, like... Oh, Doug.
Good old
I guess he
Doug.
has, like... I mean, Avatar is based. I guess, like, that's... But good of him to have that.
I mean, yeah,
like,
he can have good taste. Like, I mean, he's probably seen so much shit that, like, I mean, his taste has had to have developed.
like, well, yeah. I mean, he presumably watches movies all the fucking time. Like,
Yeah.
I would. I mean, at least I would imagine.
Do you think like Doug Walker like will one day be seen as a genuine amazing writer and like he'll be like signed on for screenplays and he'll be like he'll write like genuine movies?
Like, he'll become, like, the new Martin Scorsese or something.
He does a collab with Seth MacFarlane.
Yeah, and they end up making, like, one of the best movies of the decade.
That would be awesome. I'd love that.
I feel like I'm ready to close up this podcast soon. Any closing
Me
remarks?
too. I want to go have a cigarette. What did we learn today, ladies and gentlemen? That's the main takeaway.
We learned
we learned
about
a
Boogie.
lot.
We learned about Boogie, and we learned about Boogie.
No, we learned about alleged sexual violence happening at GDQ. We learned about how great...
Actually, we could just summarize this podcast as gamers bad.
Yeah. And...
All right. Thank you for listening, ladies and gentlemen. Please tune in for the next episode of EMESIS. This has been Jess, Chris, Christ Red, a.k.a. And Jweff. You can find us all on Twitter. I am at Paxil Party. That's Paxil Party. Chris is, I think, at Christ Red, which is literally treat like Christ and then R-E-D.
With an underscore.
Jweff, I don't... Oh, okay.
There's an underscore at the end.
I'll put it in the description. I'll fucking know. And then I don't even know what Jweff's Twitter is. I'll try to find it.
Don't do that.
Thank you so much.
I don't want no one to see my racist rants.
Well, no, I might just put in like Wings' Twitter or something. No, I'm gonna put in Spoonie's Twitter. I'm gonna put in a tweet where he's like, I just like pissed in my house plant because I'm so angry.
What about Spoonie's dog?
And then I pissed on my dog because like she was pissing me off because I can't have food to feed her.